In this video, we're cutting through the fluff, the hype, and the clickbait. No sugarcoating, no fear-mongering, just real data, real strategy, and real insights that you can actually use, whether you're buying, selling, or just trying to make sense of it all. Here's what you are getting in this video. The truth about where the housing market actually stands in 2025, backed by the latest numbers. A buyer's strategy playbook, so whether you are a first-time home buyer or searching for your dream home, you know how to win. Pro tips for sellers so you can outshine the competition and maximize your profits. A look ahead where the market could be heading next and how you can prepare for any scenario. And trust me, you'll want to stick around until the end because I'm sharing a game-changing tip that could save you thousands. Before we dive in, I want to hear from you. What's your biggest concern about the 2025 housing market? Is it interest rates, home prices, affordability? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one and I'll be answering as many as I can. All right, let's break down where the 2025 housing market really stands. Because if you have been following the headlines, you've probably seen two extremes. Some say the market is crashing, while others claim prices will never come down again. But the truth, as always, it's somewhere in the middle. Nationwide, inventory is up by 15% year over year, according to Redfin. Sounds like a lot, right? But here's the catch. We're still 10% below pre-pandemic levels from 2019. So while there are definitely more homes for sale, we're nowhere near a flood of inventory. Now, if you're a buyer, this is good news. More inventory means more choices, less bidding wars, and possibly even some price reductions. But if you're looking under $300,000, that's where things get tricky because those homes are still in high demand. If you're selling, pay attention because more inventory means more competition. The days of listing your home and getting 10 offers over asking in 24 hours, those are fading in a lot of markets. Price it right from day one or you risk sitting on the market. Let's zoom in my area, Warner Robins, Georgia. Right now, we're seeing more homes hitting the market, especially in the $350,000 to $500,000 range. That's great news if you are a move-up buyer looking for more space or upgraded features. But if you are shopping under $300,000, it's still a battlefield. First-time homebuyers and military families PCSing to Robins Air Force Base are keeping demand sky high. So if you are in this price range, be ready to act fast. I want to hear from you. What is happening in your local market? Are you seeing more homes sit on the market or is it still competitive? Let me know in the comments. Now let's talk about mortgage rates because for a lot of buyers and sellers, this is the deciding factor. Right now, 30-year fixed mortgage rates are hovering between 6.2 and 7%. That's high compared to the crazy low, artificially deflated rates we saw in 2020 and 2021, but it's actually lower than the 8% peak we saw in late 2024. Some experts predict rates could drop to 5.5% by the end of 2025. But let's be real, nobody can predict rates with 100% certainty. They depend on inflation trends, unemployment rates, and Federal Reserve policy. If you're a buyer, this means two things. Waiting for lower rates could work in your favor, but if rates drop, competition will skyrocket again, which could push prices back up. That's why getting pre-approved now is smart. You'll be ready to move if the right opportunity comes up. For sellers, the reality is higher rates limit how many buyers can afford your home. This is especially true for first-time home buyers and mid-range price points. In 2025, pricing your home competitively will be crucial. Overpricing means you could sit on the market for months. One of the biggest trends we're seeing in 2025 so far is bifurcation, which is just a fancy way of saying that different parts of the country are seeing very different trends. For example, places like Austin, Texas and Miami, Florida are seeing huge increases in inventory, which means buyers have more power there. Meanwhile, cities in the Northeast like Hartford, Connecticut still have historically low inventory, making it a seller's market. This proves one thing: real estate is hyperlocal. What's happening nationally might not apply to your specific market. My pro tip: whether you're buying or selling, don't get caught up in national headlines. Focus on your local trends. What's happening in your city, your neighborhood, in your price range. Even though inventory is rising, affordability is still one of the biggest challenges in 2025. Let's put that into perspective. The average mortgage payment is up nearly 50% compared to 2019. Why? Higher interest rates, higher home prices, higher insurance and property taxes, especially in states like Florida and Texas. For buyers, if you're struggling with affordability, look at builder incentives. They're offering rate buy downs and closing cost assistance, first-time home buyer programs, which can lower your out-of-pocket costs. For sellers, if you are selling, understand that today's buyers are price cautious. If your home is overpriced, expect it to sit longer than it needs to and longer than you'd like it to sit. Pricing strategically is key. Let me ask you, do you think mortgage rates will drop below 6% this year? Or are we stuck in this high rate environment for the long haul? Drop your predictions in the comments. We've talked about the overall state of the market, but now let's dive into what buyers can do to succeed in 2025. If you've been sitting on the sidelines, here's how you can make this market work for you. Tip number one: focus on local markets, not national headlines. National headlines scream about inventory booms and price drops, but what's true in Miami and Austin, Texas may not apply to your neighborhood. For example, while some cities are seeing inventory spike 20 to 30%, other areas like Warner Robins, Georgia still have tight competition in entry-level price ranges. Work with a local real estate agent who can break down the data by zip code and neighborhood. The right agent can help you identify opportunities others might miss, like homes that have been sitting on the market longer or sellers willing to negotiate. My pro tip for you: check out tools like Altos Research or Resi Club to track market trends in your area if you are not ready to contact an agent yet. Tip number two: leverage builder incentives. New construction homes are one of the best kept secret for buyers in 2025. Builders are offering incentives like rate buy downs, free upgrades, and even closing cost contributions because they're under pressure to offload inventory. For example, in my area, some builders offer a 2-to-1 rate buy down, effectively reducing your monthly payment for the first 2 years. Other builders offer $10,000 to design upgrades to personalize your home, or $10,000 to your closing cost, reducing your cash to close and making it more affordable to purchase a home. A negotiation tip I have for you: don't settle for the first offer. Builders expect buyers to negotiate, and you could save thousands by asking for additional concessions or upgrades. Tip number three: get pre-approved early. Interest rates are volatile, and if you're not pre-approved, you're essentially flying blind, like I am. A pre-approval doesn't just tell you how much you can borrow, it locks in your rate and gives you negotiation power with the seller. My pro tip: start the process as soon as possible. Even if you're not ready to buy today, a lender can help you identify areas to improve your credit score or reduce your debt to income ratio. This could save you thousands in the long run. If you have been through the pre-approval process recently, drop a comment below. What was the most surprising thing you have learned? Tip number four: watch the seasonal trends. Spring is traditionally when we see the most inventory hit the market, but it's also the most competitive time of the year. If you're looking for a deal, consider shopping in late summer or fall when demand typically cools off. In 2024, homes listed in September were selling for an average of 2% below asking price compared to spring listings, according to Realtor.com. That might not sound like much, but on a $300,000 home, that's $6,000 in savings. Pro tip: be ready to move quickly when you find the right home. Homes priced competitively, especially in entry-level markets, still sell fast. Tip number five: consider alternative financing options. With rates hovering around 6 to 7%, many buyers are exploring creative financing solutions like adjustable rate mortgages or temporary rate buydowns. My pro tip, an adjustable rate mortgage might not be right for everyone, but if you plan to move within 5 to 7 years, it could save you a significant amount on interest. Talk to your lender about all your options before committing to a loan. Be cautious and make sure you understand the risks though, especially if rates do not drop as expected. A little bonus tip for me, don't fear negotiations. In 2025, sellers are more open to negotiations than they have been in years. Don't hesitate to ask for concessions, whether it's closing costs, repairs, or even furniture and appliances. One of my recent clients asked for and got a $5,000 credit for repairs after their home inspection uncovered a few minor issues. That's money they didn't have to pay out of pocket after closing. Be honest, buyers, which of these tips do you think will help you the most this year? Are you planning to negotiate hard, or are you looking for builder incentives? Let me know in the comments. Now, sellers, don't tune out. While buyers may be gaining more leverage, 2025 can still be a great year for you to sell, especially if you approach the market with the right strategy. Let's talk about how to make your home stand out and get the best price possible. Tip number 1, price competitively from the start. Overpricing in 2025 is a recipe for sitting on the market and eventually taking a lower offer. Buyers are savvier than ever, using tools to compare your home with others in real time. Start by pricing your home based on recent comps, not what your neighbors sold for last year. Look for homes that sold in the last 30 to 60 days, as they are the best indicators of the current market. And my pro tip for you, if your market is seeing rising inventory, price slightly below market value to generate interest and potentially create a bidding war. This strategy can often result in a higher final sales price. For example, in Warner Robins, Georgia, homes priced right are selling within 30 days, while overpriced homes are sitting for 60 plus days and eventually take price cuts. I got an example for you. I actually recently listed a home for one of my clients, and we strategically priced it and of course video marketed it, and the home was under contract over list price in 2 days with over 15 showings. Tip number 2, highlight key features in your marketing. Buyers are looking for move-in ready homes with modern upgrades. If you have made any improvements like energy efficient windows, new HVAC, or updated flooring, these should be front and center in your listing. Use your listing description to tell a story. Instead of saying updated kitchen, try something like the newly renovated kitchen features quartz countertops, soft close cabinets, and stainless steel appliances, perfect for hosting family gatherings. Pro tip, focus on features that add value, like home offices, smart home technology, or outdoor spaces. Anything that resonates with 2025 buyers who are looking for both functionality and comfort. Tip number 3 for you sellers out there, offer incentives to attract buyers. With more homes on the market, offering incentives can make your home stand out. Concessions like paying part of the buyer's closing costs or offering a rate buy down are becoming more common and can be the difference maker between getting an offer or not. I recently worked with a seller who offered $5,000 towards the buyer's closing costs. That small concession brought in 3 offers within the first week over list price. My pro tip here, work with your agent to evaluate what incentives are most appealing in your local market. In some areas, offering a home warranty or including appliances can also be a big draw. Tip number 4, professional marketing is non-negotiable. Your home's online presence is its first impression, and in 2025, poor marketing can cost you thousands of dollars. With buyers scrolling through hundreds of listings, high quality photos, video tours, and even drone footage can make your home unforgettable. Ask your agent if they offer video walkthroughs, video marketing, or 3D tours and professional photos. These tools aren't just for luxury homes anymore. They are a must for standing out in a crowded market. My tip, if your home has unique features like a backyard pool or a stunning view, make sure your agent highlights these in the listing photos and videos. In my own listings, we use professional photography and cinematic video tours to showcase the home's best features, no matter the price point. Every home deserves that. One of our recent listings even went viral on social media, bringing in over 30 showings in the first weekend. Tip number 5, prepare your home to be market ready. Buyers in 2025 are looking for homes that feel turnkey, and even small details can make a huge difference. Declutter, depersonalize, and stage your home. This doesn't mean spending thousands of dollars. Simple things like a fresh coat of paint, a deep clean, or professionally steam clean carpets can make a big impact. My pro tip for you, curb appeal matters too. Mow the lawn, freshen up the mulch, and plant some flowers. And make sure your front door is clean and inviting. First impressions are everything. One client of mine spent $500 on minor updates, paint, new light fixtures, and some landscaping, and sold their home for $10,000 over asking price. Sellers, what is your biggest concern about putting your house on the market in 2025? Is it pricing, competition, or something else? Drop a comment below. I'd love to help. We've talked about how buyers and sellers can win in 2025, but what about the bigger picture? What's happening in the market as a whole, and how might things change in the months ahead? Let's break it down. We're already seeing inventory rise nationwide, up 15% year over year, according to Redfin. But here's the kicker. We're still 10% below pre-pandemic levels. That tells us that while more homes are hitting the market, we're not back to a fully balanced market just yet. In my area, inventory has grown by 8% in the last quarter, but the sub $300,000 market remains tight due to high demand from first-time home buyers. The Federal Reserve has hinted at keeping rates higher for a longer time to combat inflation. Right now, 30-year fixed-rate mortgages are hovering between 6.2 and 7%. Economists predict rates could dip to 5.5 by the end of 2025. But don't hold your breath. It depends heavily on the economy. For all buyers out there, if you're waiting for rates to drop, remember 1% drop in interest rates might save you $200 to $300 per month, but rising home prices could offset those savings completely. All the sellers out there, if rates drop, more buyers may enter the market, creating more demand for your property, but only if it's priced right. While the job market has remained strong, we're starting to see cracks. Tech layoffs and corporate downsizing are on the rise, which could impact buyer demand if unemployment continues to climb. If unemployment spikes, we could see more foreclosures or distressed sales hitting the market, adding to inventory. Inflation has been cooling, but it's still higher than the Fed's target of 2%. Meanwhile, wage growth has slowed, which means affordability remains a big challenge. For buyers, this means being realistic about your budget. For sellers, it means understanding that buyers have less wiggle room for high prices. Home equity line of credit HELOC usage is up by 20% since 2021, which means many homeowners borrowing against their homes to cover expenses. This could create future challenges if job losses or economic instability make it hard to repay those loans. In areas like Florida and Texas, where HELOC borrowing is super high, we could see an uptick in distressed sales over the next 12 to 24 months. Recent changes in the real estate commission landscape could create ripple effects. Hurricanes, wildfires, and other disasters are increasing in frequency and intensity, impacting property insurance rates and buyer interest in certain areas. In Florida, some homeowners are seeing insurance premiums double or triple, making affordability over there even harder. Builders are ramping up production in areas with high demand like the Sunbelt states. However, this could lead to oversupply in certain markets, pushing prices down in the short term. What does this mean for buyers and sellers? Well, for buyers, 2025 could be your year if you stay patient and informed. Watch local inventory trends and don't be afraid to negotiate with sellers or builders. Remember, knowledge is power. So start working with a real estate professional now to understand your market. For sellers, if you're planning to sell, timing is everything. Spring 2025 will likely bring the most buyer activity, but it will also bring the most competition. Work with your agent to develop a pricing and marketing strategy that stands out. What do you think will have the biggest impact on the housing market in 2025? Interest rates, inventory, or the economy? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your predictions. The housing market in 2025 is shaping up to be one of the most dynamic years we've seen in a while. Whether you're buying, selling, or just watching from the sidelines, staying informed is your best tool for success. Wow, we've covered a lot today. From rising inventory trends and interest rate predictions to game-changing strategies for buyers and sellers, it's clear that the 2025 housing market will be full of challenges, but also full of opportunities. Remember, whether you're buying your first home, upgrading, or selling, the key is preparation, research, and having the right plan in place. Buyers, the best thing you can do right now is start preparing. Get pre-approved, understand your local market, and work on building your credit. The market is shifting, and being proactive will help you with the perfect home at the perfect time. All you sellers out there, this isn't time to sit back. With rising inventory and more competition, you need to price your home right. Highlight key features and invest in professional marketing. Trust me, standing out is everything in 2025. Here's my final thought. The housing market is unpredictable, but the one thing you can control is how prepared you are. Whether you're in Middle Georgia, Warner Robins, or anywhere else in the United States, the right strategy can make all the difference. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What's your biggest takeaway from today's video? Are you more optimistic about buying or selling in 2025, or are you waiting it out? Let me know in the comments below. I'll read every single one of them. And if you found this video helpful, do me a favor, hit that like button, share this with a friend who's thinking about buying or selling, and subscribe to my channel for more in-depth housing market insights. I post weekly videos to keep you informed and ahead of the curve. Thank you so much for watching. And remember, the best opportunities come to those who stay informed. Make sure you watch some of my other videos right here for you. I'll see you in the next one.